Welcome back, friends. Last guy here. Time for more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let's go. Alright. The Altamont Gas Company's investigation. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept 3 penny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shakespeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is? Now that's the question. Why did a coin on a soap disappear? Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Von Zeeks? Oh, it's a bit dark. Oops. Did the mustachioed Nipponese poison the gangling excuse of an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court. And yet now we must listen to this. Abhorrence. We're judging the character of the witness here. Of the not the guy making the claim. So we're judging their character with this. That's the relevance. Von Zeeks knows that. He's being a bitch. A wasteful bitch. Clearly what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. But this could turn out to be crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Only has 2 glasses worth in there? Do what you will. Lord Von Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incident of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance. But I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. And the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. Let's do some crossing. Cross here all day. The Altamont Gas Company's investigation. Hold it! So does that mean you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters? That I do. I had to try to catch people when they're in, then I ask permission to come inside and do my business. Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before, as well as that of Mr. Shamshir? Well, now, interesting you should bring that up, because I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how the pair of them survived the winter is beyond me, it really is. Knowing Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books. And then when he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth. You will kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman. Not much to say, really, but as you wish. Okay. Hold it! So all London houses that have a gas supply are fitted with these gas meters, are they? They're the latest model, the high-tech technology, developed by our company, Altamont Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes. So if a 3-pence coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people would use about 3 coins in a night? A bit more than that, usually, if you have both gas lights and gas stove, that is. Thinking about it, Sasaki-san doesn't have a fireplace in that room or of his, does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. Oh yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsume's room, actually. And how does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company? Every 3 days, gas men like me visit properties on the gas supply and empty the meters of coins. I must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying the dues, for the most part. Ah, because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right. Hold it! queen bee over here. Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks. He's been pinching gas outside for ages. And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shams's room, I take it? Naturally. We took it off the wall, went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shamsphere special. That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. It's the principle that matters. But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation. When I opened up the money box and found it bare. You what? I said, you what? And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jimmied or open anywhere. Not a single sign. Jesus, guy. And what's happening to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. I still got it. Oh? Right here. No wonder they call you Meterman. I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. Gas meter has been added. Now let's examine it. Definitely. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter. Ugh. I don't remember saying that, did you? The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent has the only key. Hold it! There's only one key for all of your meters? Well, in truth, there's another key in the company vault at our main office. But even if someone had somehow managed to get a hold of the key, we know that the coin box had been opened. Oh? How? I came up with a rather clever way to expose any little shenanigans as it happens. Would you care to explain? Well now, in order to enter a meter, you have to unlock the padlock and remove the cover. But when I close the cover again, I stick a little beeswax seal on it, you see? A seal? Like the sort of thing you'd put on an envelope, you mean? Something like that, yes. Easily you can't remove the cover again without breaking the seal. Now, in the case of Mr. Shamspeare's meter, there were no coins inside at all, as I said. But the seal hadn't been broken either. So that would mean Mr. Shamspere somehow managed to steal coins from inside the meter without opening it. Or never putting coins in the first place. It would seem so, but that would be impossible. He never put coins in the first place. Look at the evidence a moment. Gas holes. Only thing we look at is this. Oh, there's the wax there. It's a very sturdy looking padlock, isn't it? And the money box is sealed with beeswax, too. If Mr. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Mr. Naruhodo, mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would... You know, you didn't finish that sentence, did you? Well, anyway, it's understandable that the gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs. But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? Oh! Oh, what's this? Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here. There's a little hole. Do you see? Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed. Not a very neat hold, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So you think it might have been opened by Mr. Shamsu? Possibly. It seems the people at Altamont Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through to the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin would fit through there. That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. Ah, there's a hole in the bottom. That's where the soap comes out. Now, how do we make that connection? Little Rush Madame Center has mysteriously vanished. She's spinning her umbrella, by the way. Whoops, I didn't mean to go right. Ugh. I certainly didn't expect to uncover another crime that looks like it's been taking place in the very same room. According to the testimony, it's only the meter in Mr. Shamsu's room that's under suspicion. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involving Mr. Natsume. I know it does seem that way, but the fact is, since I've been practicing law in England, I feel like I've encountered this at least once already. Cases that are interlinked. Oh. It might seem that two cases have nothing to do with one another at first, but in fact they're intimately connected. Yes, we have experienced that before, haven't we? I wonder if this is another instance. Perhaps, but we can't be sure of that yet. Yeah, the Altamont Gas Company has been investigating Mr. Shamsu so earnestly. There must be something to it. But then how has he been managing to steal their gas? And back to the 5th because I didn't finish here.
Hold it!
How do you know that he's been using gas, though? Well, now, since I started investigating this bloke, I've been to his room more than a few times. And every single occasion his lamps have been blazing and his stove pounding. It's the middle of winter and he still turns to me, sweat dripping down his cheek, and says, "Get thee to a nunnery." Hamlet indeed. That is Hamlet. I could wring the bloke's neck. I get all hot under the collar, but still. Every time I open up that flaming meter, it's empty. He's robbing me of my salary, too. What's wrong with the world? Where's the justice? But how can Mr. Shamsu possibly be stealing the money? I don't understand. The simple explanation is right before your eyes. What? A toast to you eventually realizing that the gas man could be an accomplice. You what? Good lord. Eminently plausible indeed. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Right in the cheek. Right in that shin. Oh, please, Lady Quinby. I'm a faithful worker. And besides, if the money those gasmen collect doesn't tally with how much gas has been used, you talk about paying the same amount. So you'd be stealing money, only to have the same amount taken from your wages. Clearly that makes no sense. Perhaps it's a case of losing the battle to win the war. No! I'm not gonna stir up the hornet's nest. If I were stealing from the company, I'd be finished. It would seem there's no evidence to support the claims of thievery made against the victim. Because Mr. William Shamsu is innocent. Pray forgive me if that shatters some illusion my learned Nipponese friend was clearly under. So how do I bring up the hole? Where do I bring up the hole? Oh, I got a thought. I have a thought. Just bringing it up. Let's see here. Doesn't appear to have been tampered with, but it has. Present. There we go. Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing! Really, Bull? I'm telling you there's nothing wrong with it. In that case, What do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Oh, what? You're right. You're quite right. There's a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shanser secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a farther through that. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Lady Altamont. I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design. What sort of details? Well, what I'd specifically like to know is how it differentiates coins. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work possibly, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know that the coin it's been fed is a through penny bit? Ah, I see what you're getting at now. You might wonder this with vending machines, and it's a sorting system where they just have it goes by sizes. So, like, let's see if I remember correctly. So I think the quarter hole's last, and it's like the smallest hole's first, and then the bigger hole's last. So that the quarter always fits only the quarter spot. Nickel and fits nickel, penny, penny, and dime, dime. Like, that's how it's set up. Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A 3 penny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit it. Ah, I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent. As you wish, my lord. The meter is designed for coins in the exact diameter and thickness of a 3 penny bit. Nothing else will fit. Is this where I present the soap? I guess. Try it.
Objection.
Nope, that's not where I put it. The last statement was contradictory balls. Alright, okay. Where do I use this? Actually, I think I'm supposed to press here to get more information.
Hold it.
But conversely then, it would seem that anything matching a 3 pence coin exactly in terms of diameter and thickness would equally well be used. Would, that be true? Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes into it in a certain extent as well. We thought of that though anyway. If I find any fake coins inside the coin box when I empty the meter, the contract says the customer has to pay 100 times the amount they diddled as a fine. Oh my god, he has a little bag that makes him a bee! Didn't notice that? We live for little moments like that. Us gasmen do. Live for them. It would seem the gas company has thought of everything. Woohoo, hooray for gas, hooray for cash. Altamont all the way. That's quite enough of that. Remind me, how big are through penny bits? About 3/4 of an inch across. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Is this 2 centimeters measurement significant? Or perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on? Yes, you may be right. Perhaps I should try a different tact here. Like asking about whether the meter can be dismantled, for example. Sure, why not? How can the meter be dismantled? Dismantled? Yes, given that there are no signs of it having been forced. I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart. Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlocks are made by a first-class locksmith from the finest quality steel. And the meter box itself is made from plate steel as well. Welded shut to ensure it can't be opened again. I can assure you it's quite impossible to dismantle it. Woohoo, yeah! Nothing leaks from an Altamont meter. No coins, no gas, no nothing. I see. Ah, he's gonna make her change the testimony. I think the coin's still the way to go, but let's see what we got here. All joints on the meter are welded shut and the lock is made from solid steel. There's no way to dismantle it.
Hold it!
I think it's the coin way, but let's get going. Has anyone ever tried? Oh yeah, they've tried, but they've all given up before long. After all, if they actually broke the meter, the company would be able to take legal action. Yes, that makes sense. What do you think? Okay, that's it? Alright. The other aspect, for sure. Oh, okay. You're gonna think about it now. Oh, look at this bar of soap. There's a circular depression on this side, about 2 centimeters across. There it is. Oh, or 3/4 of an inch. Oh, do you think... We did find the soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. So we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly. Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Where could it have gone? There it is. There's a depression. There it is. Now we bring it up. Present. Book.
Objection!
Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as a threepenny bit. What was it? The item in question is this. What? Have you been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap. It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. It looks like I'm going to have to point out exactly what I mean here. Duh! What's important about the soap? It's this part here. Is that funny person? Ah, crap. History. Okay. There's that funny little round depression in the middle of the soap. Yes, it's a perfect circle. I would say almost 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Rather like something else we've been talking about recently, in fact. Miss Naruto, it's this part of the soap you need to show to the court. That's what I'm doing.
Got it!
You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Huh? Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap bar? That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Santa needs money, boys and girls. Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit. Now to see if it fits. My word, it couldn't be more snug. Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the ultimate gas company is being defrauded. Well, I don't believe it. She straight up is a queen bee and he's a bee. So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes! The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit. I must concur at least that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin shape. And then you could use some well-melted wax or something to pour into the mold. Yep. And you could make fake coins in no time. And then melt them out of the hole. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shansbury has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker, he would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that could have made them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There's one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air. Yes. Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of the magical method used visibly on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that is your assertion, Counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make the fake coins disappear be seen? You know, the hole. There's this little hole in the bottom of the meter here, isn't there? It looks as though it was made by somebody who didn't really have the right tools. It does actually go all the way through to the inside, but it's hard to see that unless you look closely. In fact, it goes right into the part of the meter where the money ends up. I suppose it's nothing then. Oh? Well, you couldn't possibly extract a coin through such a small hole, could you? No, I suppose not. But then, the question remains, why would somebody go to the effort of making a hole here? Now do it.
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Metterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap. Ah, I get it. That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Did you say ice? Mr. Shansbury has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts. I would have thought it was wax. But yeah, water won't leave a trace. Turning back into water. And draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas. Oh. Just like that, so simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water. That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. You have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and water can render it totally useless? I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence? Sorry? I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Of course, Asato's choked up about that. Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. The piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about Mr. Shansbury has been stealing gas is... that puddle right there. is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. I thought that was the T. And it clearly shows remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamsphere. What remnants? Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamsphere's room. Now look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. What is that? Some kind of grubber stain? Almost certainly, it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. Huh? If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, you can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. Melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful. And there's further evidence, too. Mr. Shamsphere slumped over on his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half. You're right.
It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he?
Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but... certainly not. He didn't beat around the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shamsphere was found with a fork in his hand.
A meal of soap is sounding increasingly likely, Lord Von Zieks. Do you mean to say he was using that fork to...
Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. Huh. But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well.
Good gracious. Good gracious.
Lord Von Zieks! I was throwing my hand up in despair, and happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my maladroit mistake.
What is the meaning of this, Counsel?
Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well... that Mr. William Shamsphere is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it, yeah, that's exactly it. Very well, let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. Huh? And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gas man's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shamsphere is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. The prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. You... What? Straight up B, lady.
Order, order. Well, Counsel, how does the defense respond?
Mr. Nadahodo! Gave myself a concussion that time. What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all? Like Lord Von Zieks is, saying. Raise an objection. No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest. What?
But Counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shamsphere to consume gas. What more is there to discuss?
Lord Von Zieks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all.
What are you trying to say, my Nipponi's friend?
At least one of these so-called facts is an assumption, made due to a lack of evidence. But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witnesses to take the stand.
Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense?
Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider, namely... Okay. Was the poison in the tea? We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shamsphere was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume, but that's conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There's no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison.
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene, and a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection!
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, Counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime tells us about the nature of the defendant's tea?
Caps.
Take that!
What exactly is this piece of evidence supposed to reveal about Mr. Natsume's tea, Counsel?
Well, I suspect it may, possibly, be related to the tea in some small way if we dig deep enough.
Then you will be digging for a very long time indeed, my learned friend.
Where did I screw up? Oh,
even at the bottom of the deepest chasm. You will find no sense in that absurd assertion.
Ah! Sometimes sometimes I wish I could have disappeared down a deep chasm to escape this deep sarcasm.
Then I advise you to think more deeply before you answer this again this time.
Okay.
More soap?
The soap water got in the tea, maybe? No, that can't be it, but let's try.
Take that!
Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice?
Yes, that's right, my lord. It just came back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. It's more bars of soap. It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each.
So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory? Fascinating.
In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice.
There was something strange about them, you mean?
Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red.
The ice was red. No, you mean...
That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea.
Oh.
What? It would remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. I would...
That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result. Never will I touch tea again. Never! Ah, yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains and East End are prone to freezing.
So on the night in question, Mr. Shamsphere, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins.
My word!
There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime. Frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamspeare's window.
Extraordinary.
Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even 1 drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture, by finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contained strychnine at all.
Oh, you smug Nipponese.
My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once. And the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Robber.
Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once.
Yes, my lord. Yes, understood. Von Zeeks ain't happy. To be continued? No. Okay. Oh, no, it's okay.
It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Von Zeeks?
None, my lord.
Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim.
Yes, my lord. Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow.
Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. Time to go deliver presents.
Ho, ho, ho. Ah, there you go. To be continued. Till next time. Okay, why is this case hidden is the question. So that is it for now. We're gonna run into Sholmes at some point in this next part, yeah. I had fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what's all about it. Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.